weirdest thing is I walked in to get my own leg amputated. So I walked into hospital, pushing a wheelchair with the stump board on it ready to have my leg amputated. But yeah, walking in there, I was fine. Like literally, I was excited. And then went under the knife. 2 hours later, woke up and I've not had any pain since. It was just the biggest relief ever.
Even when I got my diagnosis, I still just called myself chronically ill because I didn't think I was, quote unquote, disabled enough. I didn't think I was bad enough, ill enough to be called disabled. No, I'm not disabled. I'm not in a wheelchair. I also thought, disabled equals wheelchair. I realized that it's not a bad thing. It's not this thing that's a gatekeeping club either.
The number one question that really irritates me is the what happened sort of questions. And people, I think, wanted this big tragic story. And when I come out and say, oh, I was born with it, they're disappointed because I didn't fulfill their curiosity. I didn't fulfill their need for drama. And I'm like, disability is not here to entertain you. I
got injured in 2012. I was in the army, fell over. I felt my leg, what I thought would happen. I thought my leg had broken. I didn't have a scan or anything. The doctors never scanned me. He said, no, you've got shin splints, and just made it a lot worse than if I'd been treated properly.
Society has equated disabled with inadequate. And it's now actually the reason that I've called the podcast Disabled and Proud is to reclaim that power of the word disability, because actually disabled doesn't mean inadequate at all. It's almost just signposting you to know that actually this body is not the same as everybody else's, but that doesn't mean it's any less worthy.
I went out on my motorbike. I collided with the central reservation, ripped my arm and shoulder off, broke both my ankles, smashed my left forearm to absolute bits and pieces, and woke up sort of two days later in the Royal London at Whitechapel, an arm and shoulder lighter, my legs in bandages and my arm suspended from a pole with fixators into it. You think of all the bad things that go on in life. I've just lost my arm and shoulder. Yes, that's really bad, but we can adapt and overcome to that. So
it can be seen as a form of entertainment, and disability is not for entertainment purposes. My body is not here to entertain you or make you feel better about your own body.
That second thing that you just said, make you feel better about your own body, I think that is a real big player in it, because I think the question feeds from a place of fear. I think people see people that look visibly different and they're like, oh my gosh, how did this happen to this person? How can I avoid it happening to me?
Yeah, actually someone asked if my daughter's pram was for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was I think my daughter was asleep in the pram and covered in a blanket.
Yeah.
So maybe she didn't see her in there, but she just quickly made the assumption that not only do I use a wheelchair, I also carry a baby stroller as a backup.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When I go to clubs, I've been asked straight off the bat, oh, does it work? Or can you have sex? Or
you're not the first person that I've spoken to that has said this.
The thing is, if somebody, if we were having a conversation and somebody asked me can you have sex, I'd be yeah, I wouldn't have a problem answering it. But it's when they do it straight off the bat, just out of the blue, just bang, it's what, you wouldn't go up to any other person.
No, exactly. And I think that's so wild that happens.